It's official. Mary Ellen, you all right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, board members, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the planning board meeting, Westport Island, July 8th, 6 o'clock. We have a quorum. We'll go ahead and get started. Jeff Tarbucks is absent, but otherwise everyone is here. Welcome to our newest member, Susan Gallagher. Yes, thank you for volunteering and thank you for being here, and we look forward to working with you.
Thank you.
All right. Now we can get started. All right. First order of business is the minutes, or are the minutes. Did everybody on the board get a copy?
I sent them. I didn't print them out. I apologize. Took one in the house. And
There-
also these minutes.
Very good.
Yeah, I
Did-
got April's minute, but yeah.
Did everybody get a chance? Okay, let's start with Mary Ellen's minutes of the last meeting.
So that, I sent them out a week ago for June 10th, so I apologize. I didn't print them out today.
Did everybody get a chance to look at them? Except Susan?
I did actually. Yeah.
Oh, she's on, look at her.
Tell you. She's put it all the same.
The homework.
Board members, did everybody get a chance to look at the minutes, or?
I glanced through them. I thought they were fine. I think am I not voting right now? Or no, I'm voting.
You're the first alternate.
Okay, yeah, we're missing that. So I motion that we approve the minutes of June 10th.
Second. All in favor? Such unanimous. Welcome. There's a seat somewhere. Second set of minutes that April prepared for the on-site visit.
Nope.
Nope.
No, this was for May 13th. It was a while back and Mary Ellen was absent.
Oh. Got
And we
it.
recorded it and I just got around to watching the recording.
All right.
May 13th minute.
May 13th minutes. Did everybody see those? Go ahead,
Yeah,
Mary.
I saw.
Oh, will you make a motion?
Motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Wasn't there. Oh, that's true.
Second.
All in favor? Unanimous?
Can I pass it around for
Yes.
John Hancock?
Thank you, April, for subbing for our illustrious secretary in her absence.
So we should probably do.
Yeah, let me just do the public comment first. Public comment for those of you who are here for the first time or are not a frequent flyer and like the reminder. If anyone has public comment about any issue that is not on the agenda, we'd love to hear from you all now. If you have public comment regarding items that are on the agenda, we'd ask that you please hold those until we get to the item on the agenda. Does anybody here have public comment on a general matter? Or it's not on the agenda. Not seeing any. All right, we will pass that. There's been a request to put the election of officers, which I had at the bottom, to do that earlier in the agenda, perhaps now. I'd ask the board if they would entertain an amendment to the agenda to allow election of officers to go first.
Yes.
All in favor?
Sound good?
Okay. Let's start with the secretary position. Mary Ellen, rolling your eyes.
I nominate Mary Ellen.
Well, it comes with such high rewards, so.
A lot of accolades and honors. Are you willing to re-up? Okay, we have a motion. Is there a second?
I second.
All in favor? Congratulations, Mary Ellen.
So, and so.
All right, the next position is the vice president. Our vice president is absent. I've heard no complaints from him or any interest in him not continuing. Are there any other applicants? Not seeing any. Do we have a motion?
I nominate Jeff Tarbox for vice chair.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor? Okay. Mary Ellen, since you are the next ranked officer who is actually present, you get to run the meeting regarding the election of the chairperson.
Okay.
So you're in charge.
So John has served us really well the last number of years, so, I would recommend that we nominate John to serve again as chair. I don't know if there's other nominees. So I nominate John.
Second.
Okay. All those in favor of John? Thank you so much.
All right, thank you. And as some of you know already, I've announced that I will defer to the new generation of leadership next year this time. So thank you all for your support. And more than anything else, thank you all for your extremely hard work, dedication, commitment through a very exciting and interesting and hard work year. So appreciate all of you, and we'll do it again this year, hopefully. Okay, thank you. All right, next item on the agenda is to decide whether or not to approve the Bartlett final site plan application. We have that in our file, and it's been circulated. We had the first meeting deemed that it was complete June 10th. We had our site plan public hearing and visit on June 29th. We had members of the public present. All the members of the public had questions or comments, and board members had questions and comments as well. We closed that hearing. I would recommend to the board that we are prepared to go forward with a motion to consider approving the application. And I'm prepared to go through all of the criteria under section 10 and have us vote on that. Is the board prepared to do that?
Yes.
Objections, all right, by consensus. In considering the criteria under section 10 of the site plan review ordinance for Westport Island, I'm going to go through each one, and I'll ask the board to vote yay or nay as to each item. For those items that are not applicable, I will just paraphrase, but otherwise I'll read as best I can the items that do appear to apply. 10A1, the proposed enterprise will not result in undue water or air pollution, and it directs us to consider various items. Yea or nay, it will not result in undue water pollution. Do I have a vote?
I vote that it will not. Is that the right way to say it?
Yeah.
Results.
So to me, yeah.
Nay.
All right, in favor, okay.
Aye.
10A2 has sufficient water available for reasonably anticipated needs of the enterprise. Didn't appear that there was going to be any water going to the site, to the building. But I'll ask the board's vote yea or nay on 10A2. All in favor?
Yay.
Yes.
Is it yes or no? Yeah, it's,
Yeah,
she meets it.
she meets the requirements,
Yeah.
the criteria. 10A3 will not cause an unreasonable burden on existing water supply.
Yay. I'm
Agree that she met that requirement? Great. Okay. 10A4 will not cause unreasonable soil erosion or reduction in the land's capacity to hold water, so that a dangerous, unhealthy condition results. Everybody agrees she's met that requirement.
Yes.
Okay. 10A5 will not cause unreasonable highway or public road congestion or unsafe conditions with respect to the use of highways, public roads, or roads necessary for access to or within the proposed enterprise. Everyone agrees she met that requirement.
Yes, with a caveat. I think when we get to the end, this is one of my first times through this. I want to make sure there's conditions on the final plan that the signage is up. It wasn't up when we did the site visit. So just approve the plan, but make that a condition that we have traffic directional signs for an entrance and an exit and how people get to the parking. Just so we don't have two people trying to enter at the same place or
Right.
smack into each other behind that beautiful
Do you
garden.
think that, okay, I was gonna say, I think it would make more sense to let people pull into the entrance if they feel most comfortable as the driver. But.
I mean, I'm not,
If you prefer
yeah, I'm not a traffic flow expert. That was kind of my impression as I saw everyone piling in for the site visit, as they were just sort of piling in from both sides. So again, I'm not a traffic flow expert, but it seems like if you had one entrance and one exit, and then also signs to tell people where to park, so they weren't just parking all over the place.
it, there are
parking signs
Yeah.
there.
there are parking signs that direct people to park out back. That was part of the problem is
Yeah.
none of you guys followed the parking signs.
I
Waited.
I followed the arrows.
Yes.
I thought it had a different take from April, because I think it's a very small property. And so I think having ability to get in either way
Yeah,
is fine with me. And it's not a large property like other commercial property, so I think either way is fine. Plus, you do have the parking signs on the site there, so.
Yeah, I guess I'm not, and I'm definitely,
it also has a 25-year history of having dump trucks going in and out. So it's.
well,
It's a vast improvement.
yeah.
More traffic than any shop will ever.
Yes, it occurs to me that the site visit was gonna be a special occasion with like 20 people converging all at once. And usually you won't see that kind of traffic. So, you know, I just want to put that out there for the board to consider. I don't think we necessarily do that here. I just wanted to bring it up. I think at the end we approve or approve of conditions.
Yeah,
So
let's,
I approve, but
no, it's, glad you raised it. We had a good discussion. Let's consider that, at the end of this, review of the criteria. And if there are any conditions that someone wants to propose, we can take that up at the end.
Okay.
All right, good. Okay, let's see. So back to 10A, 0.5 will not cause unreasonable highway or public road congestion. Everybody in agreement?
Yeah.
All right. 10A6 will provide for adequate solid and sewage waste disposal. Here, the disposal of waste was going to be adequate. Didn't see any debris around. Everybody in favor? Did she meet requirement 10A.7 will not cause unreasonable burden on the ability of the town of Westport to dispose of solid waste or sewage with respect to the use of municipal facilities? Not sure that applies, but so everybody agrees she met that criteria. Okay. 10A8 will not place an unreasonable burden on the ability of the town to provide municipality or government services. Everybody agrees she met that requirement. All right. 10A9 will not have an undue adverse effect on the scenic or natural beauty of the area, aesthetics, historic sites, significant wildlife habitat, or rare and irreplaceable natural areas, or any public rights for physical or visual access to the shore. Everybody agree that she met that requirement?
yes,
We do note that, as I said before, it is a distraction to drivers because it is such an interesting and pretty site, including the gardens. 10A.10, does everyone agree that the application conforms to the subdivision ordinance and the other ordinances of the town? Everybody agree with that? Does everybody agree that the applicant has met 10A.11, has the adequate financial and technical ability to complete the project while meeting the criteria and standards of this and other applicable ordinances? Everybody agree? Does everybody agree that the applicant met 10A.12 the application will not adversely affect whenever situated entirely or partially within the watershed of any pond. Doesn't appear that that applies. Does everybody agree that the applicant met 10A.13, that the application will not alone or in conjunction with existing activities adversely affect the quality or quantity of groundwater? Everybody agree with that? Does everybody agree that the application meets the requirement of 10A.14, that if it's in a flood prone area, and that doesn't appear to apply in this case? Does anybody object to that, the fact this doesn't apply? Okay. Does everybody on the board agree that the application has met section 10A.15, that the application identified all freshwater wetlands, didn't appear to be any in the area? Does the board agree and find that the application met the requirement of 10A.16, that the application identified on any maps any river, stream, or brook? Again, there didn't appear to be any. Anybody object to that not applying? Does everyone agree that the applicant met the requirements of 10A.17, that it will provide for adequate stormwater management?
Yes.
All in favor? Does everyone agree that the application for the applicant has met the requirements of 10A.19, that it will fit harmoniously into the rural and residential character as described in the comprehensive plan? Anybody agree with that?
Did we do 10A.18 about emergency services?
Oh, thank you. Does everyone agree that the application meets the requirements of 10A.18, that it will not cause an unreasonable burden on the ability of the town to provide emergency services?
Yes.
Does everyone agree that the application meets the requirements under 10A.20, that it will provide for the safe handling of all materials and chemicals utilized on the site?
Yes.
Does everyone agree that the application has met the requirements of 10A.21, that it will provide for safe disposal of all waste materials generated on the site, minimizing the probability of accidental discharge to the environment? I agree with that. Everyone agree that the application has met the requirement of 10A.22, that it will provide a proposed time phase project plan? That really doesn't apply here. For the most part, it's pretty much done. Yeah. All right. So everyone agree that the application has met the requirement of 10A.23, that it will not produce dust, fumes, odors, gases, light, or radiation at the lot lines any greater than that produced by an average single-family residence as determined by the planning board? So everyone agree that that requirement has been met?
Yes.
Okay. Turning to the standards, which for the public information runs from pages, I'm still going, from page 20 to 36, 16 pages of standards, which I will not read. Unless somebody really, at any rate, you all are familiar with the standards as members of the board. I'm going to call attention to the standards which I feel is applicable, that being the soil and erosion sedimentation standard 11C. And the point of that standard is, again, is in providing the support for the applicable criteria, that the building, site, and roadway design harmonize with topography, and if there aren't any soil erosion issues, and if there are, they were managed. So everyone agree with that?
Right.
And with respect to streets and roads, 11D, it qualifies as an enterprise. It's probably going to generate less than an average of 30 vehicles trips per day, although we hope for more. given that the standard road and driveway zoning standards apply, and would everyone agree that she has complied with those? Seeing yes.
Mhm.
With respect to 11D2, the adequacy of the road system, 11D3, access to the site, and 11D4, internal vehicle circulation. We had a little discussion about that already, but does everyone agree that she's met those standards?
Yeah.
Similarly with the 11D5, the parking layout and design. Does everyone agree that the parking layout and design was suitable for the and I think we've addressed the emergency services, the financial capacity, and the natural features, the dust, gases, and odors, signs, and so the others either don't apply or we've already addressed as part of the criteria. Given the vote, does the board have a motion to approve this final application? And if anyone has any proposed conditions, now would be the time to express those.
I have a quick question for
Yes.
Bailey. Bailey, are you planning on having any events at your venue? No. Which would be fine. I think it would be a site plan revision if you wanted to, because I think we should look at the traffic flow again if we were expecting a bunch of people to converge for an event, but absent that, I don't have any conditions.
So I make a motion that we approve the plan as we've reviewed,
Based upon our findings of fact and conclusions of law set forth in the public hearing for public meeting and the a review of the ordinance. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor? Any opposed? Seeing none, congratulations. Good job. Yeah.
200 children.
And I went, before Bailey leaves, I just wanted to note that Bailey has also been instrumental in flagging for us some great opportunities to improve the application. We really don't have a formal application for site plan review. And this application and a couple of others have demonstrated why that would be a good thing. So Bailey's volunteered to work with April, and we're going to come up with a great application.
We are.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bailey.
Good job, Bailey. Thank you. Okay. Thank you, board. Next item on the agenda, consider and decide whether or not to approve the Sheepshead Marine Service final site plan application. And I guess before we entertain any motions, I thought, go ahead.
I tried to give you that your email correspondent with it. Wanted to get you at the last meeting, me. A couple of copies here for
Thanks, Ted.
that includes a notice to the abutters that we,
Oh, okay.
the list of the properties within 1,000 feet.
Gotcha. Okay,
There'd
so
also be erosion control plans in regards to the building of the road. Tim did the pier permit. Of course, he addressed the minimal erosion control measures needed for the pier construction, but the additional one for the roads
okay,
as
sweet.
well. Lacking the last paperwork I gave you.
Sweet. Ted, thank you very much. Let me get everybody oriented.
Yeah, could you start?
What this is and where we are and where we're going. And Ted, there are a couple of different ways to approach this, and I think I see your representative, or Mr. Forster. See here?
Yep.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, he may weigh in on this too. But at any rate, just for everybody's benefit and as well as the board, I just want to review briefly the timeline and the events with respect to this property, because it's been a robust area of activity on the island over the last year. And we've had some dialogue uh, just in the community and on the board about exactly how we got from point A to point B. And to be quite honest about it, until the application for the CFMA and the site plan review, this board really hasn't had an opportunity to wrestle with some of these issues. And so it was a learning experience for us as well as the applicant and the community and the residents in particular. So all right, so let me just kind of summarize what's happened so far and where we are right now. So May 22nd, this property was zoned residential for the shorthand. Part of it was in the shoreland zone, part of it wasn't, but it was zoned residential. And at that time, on May 22nd, the applicant made an application for stump and fill on what I will call the upper level. If you haven't been out there, Jason knows as well, he's right across the street. There are two significant levels to the property. There's a level that's roughly on the same plane as the street, 44 Main Street. And then it's like a stair step, and it's a pretty sheer drop down to a second level. And then that goes to the river, the Back River. So when I say the upper level, the first application was stump and fill as to that upper level. The application included erosion controls and a site plan that was obviously referred to the CEO, and the CEO approved it, and they went forward, and the work was done. Then on July 28th, after the town meeting and after the town voted to create a CFMA district for this property, after that event, the applicant filed a second application for stumping at the lower level, so the second step down, and that included for stumping. It also had an erosion plan. The site plan was filed, and the CEO approved that in July of 2025, so about a year ago. In October 6th, there was an application for tree removal. And again, that was at the second level, a stair step down, closer to the water, but and that included the erosion control and site plan as well, and it was approved by the CEO in October 2025. Then on October 8th, a couple days later, there was a second application, this one for site plan review, that was referred to us, to the board, under the ordinance. And this also included an erosion control worksheet and a site plan. Ted presented that to us. We had the pre-site or pre-application powwow about that. I got to know a little bit more about the application. And then, unlike the criteria that the CEO was applying under the ordinance, under the site plan review, which is now to this board as opposed to the CEO, there are a whole bunch of new requirements that the applicant had to satisfy, most of which you heard just a few moments ago, going down the list and making sure each of those criteria that applied were first addressed and then were satisfied. That included a site plan or a site visit. The application was for fill and grading at that lower level that had been already cleared. And it was limited to that section, that second step, if you will, that was well-defined, about 160 feet by 100 feet. And so we all went and looked at that, and that was eventually approved for the plans there, which again is the fill and grading on that second level. Now we fast forward to today, and what we have today is the application for the pier permit, and then because we don't have a separate application for site plan review yet, the application for pier permit, and then was handwritten / site plan review. And when we received this, and we received it at the meeting June 10th, so at the last meeting, we were interested in doing everything we could to meet the applicant's for timetable for having this reviewed in a final posture. So we went ahead and scheduled a site view right before we did the one for Miss Bartlett's property. And we went down and looked at it. And just speaking for myself, I was surprised to see that, we're talking about a big roadway connecting that second level pad and the pier and dock that was being proposed. And it's, that's my fault. I didn't see the application or read the application really until recently. And I was going off of the conversation that we had June 10th. And so I went back and I listened to the conversation on June 10th, sobering experience of watching yourself on tape, but at any rate, the applicant said, we're here to talk about the site plan or the pier and dock and access roadway, ramp, and this. And I, listening attentively, but obviously not catching everything, asked, to really understand, is this an application for a pier and dock? Repeated that a couple of times, and the response was yes, that it was just for the pier and dock. So that was my understanding. The information was there, but I didn't pick up on the fact that there was really more to it than just the pier and the dock. There was conversation by other board members, again, focused on it's just a pier application for pier and dock, not the roadway. So now that, at least in my mind, it's clear that we have two things going on here. One is, as is really set out in the application for a pier permit, we have an application for the pier, and we also have a site plan review application, which is different. So when I realized my perception was wrong, I sent an email to the applicant's agent, Mr. Forster's company, and asked them, with reference to the drawing that we had showing the proposed roadway, which I'm sharing with so people can see it.
John, I made paperwork I gave you has a nice aerial color photograph.
It's,
road in it.
we're gonna get there. We're gonna get
So
there.
I figured where you had it there in the paper.
We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. Thank you. So I asked the applicant's agent, is this the only thing that we had with respect to the site plan for the roadway? And I didn't get a response, but tonight, really appreciate it. We did get, I think, a response with a well-defined, I'm just looking at it now again, well-defined, site plan drawing. Yes, well, I'm not sure. At any rate, we'll have to look at it, but I see the photograph. I do see the photograph of the proposed roadway here and showing the trees that are gonna be, which is one thing that I was looking for. All right, so in terms of the procedural posture, we're all getting, as I said before, we're all getting to the same place at the same time, or eventually. But I think in terms of what the board has in front of it right now, given the history, we have before us two applications. One is for the pier permit, and the second is for site plan review. With respect to the site plan review, I would ask the board to consider whether or not the application that we had before us before tonight still needed some work. We're missing some pieces, which we appreciate were provided tonight. We still need to look at those and see if they are adequate. But we have a clock running. We have a clock that expires 30 days, roughly in another day or two, I think, to make a decision as to whether or not the application is complete. So what I'd like to do, what I would propose to do, and Tom and Ted, what I would propose to do is bifurcate this application. I don't see any reason why we can't go forward with addressing the pier permit application, but I'll defer to the board. I think that application is complete, and the work that we've done on that is adequate to make an appropriate decision. But I would propose that with respect to the site plan review, particularly for the road going through the shoreland zone, that we either agree to extend the deadline for another 30 days, if that works for you all, to make that final decision, or alternatively, the board would have to decide whether they think the application is complete at this point. So I would, at this point, it's a little perhaps freewheeling, but I'd invite the applicant, Ted or Tom, to talk to us a little bit about the procedure, how you'd like to go forward. And I guess a quick footnote before I drop the mic is I noted in the application that the work for the docks was going to be done primarily from the water. So that's kind of motivating me to think of it in two steps, but I'd open it up.
Remember the last one, you catch a little bit lengthy, a little bit rushed, and pretty quick. My presentation to you kind of very limited at that time. If you look at the NRPA application provider, pictures throughout that says access road, please remove for access road.
Yeah, no question about that. What pulled me up short, when I saw the application, was we had great designs and wonderful detail as to the pier and the dock, but when we came to the site plan for the road, we've got kind of a road that it says proposed road. It doesn't show it connecting to any other road. It doesn't show what trees are in the road. What you
Next to that gravel.
Pardon me?
It connects to the gravel pad area. They open it. That's where it ends when you open it. That's on the map.
I know, I'm not arguing for what, I'm not arguing, I'm just saying, we have an obligation to get as much information as the ordinance requires us to get, and it's just my reading of it, it fell short because this is a sensitive area. You're removing a lot of trees. My guess is they're all in the roadway, but it doesn't show that on what we had. I think what you provided now may help answer that question, but anyway, that's April, go ahead.
Yeah, so I just wanted to speak to the procedural aspect. So one of the key things that I really latch onto in the site plan review, because it helped me make sense of this, is that site plan review comes before permitting. So Ted has submitted a site plan review for the pier and for the road. And it's confusing, and I can understand why we're a little tangled up because we also, as a board, handle peer permitting. And because when we're looking at this flycatcher packet, it looks to us like a peer permit that we usually see. But when you read it carefully, it does talk about the road. I kind of agree with John that it didn't talk enough about it, but I'm glad to see these new materials. That makes me feel better to see the more complete drawing and the tree removals. So I think in my mind, the simplest order of operations would be we need to vote on whether the site plan review application is complete. And I think we had planned, yes, I know we had planned to try to do the hearing today. I don't think we can do that because we just got new materials. So we could vote on whether the application is complete. And I think I would probably vote favorably on that with the new stuff that Ted has provided. Then we will have a hearing where we would decide on the application itself, and then we would take up the peer permit. And I know it's a long road, Ted, but I think that's the way it would go. And then for the road, because, well, Gary, maybe you can tell us, I'm not sure which body that would be before, but then Ted would get a permit for the road, correct?
It's associated with a non-residential use, so it's gonna be before.
It would be planning board as well. Okay. So I think maybe we could treat the paperwork he's already submitted as the permit paperwork, so he doesn't have to submit basically the same stuff again. I'm spitballing here, but I think the procedure would be site plan review, voting that the application's complete, and then voting on the site plan review application, and then voting on those two permits. And we might be able to consolidate that into a single meeting perhaps to save time, but what do you guys think? Does that sound right, wrong?
Okay, well, before we open up to the board again, back to the, okay, go ahead, Tom.
Yeah, hi, good evening, everyone. Tim Forrester with Flycatcher, the applicant. And I just wanted to add this, the application was submitted last month. I did receive your email and we worked diligently to respond to that. I provided the information, Ted had brought it to you. So your request for additional information came one day before the hearing. So you've had it for a month. And I don't feel the applicant should be burdened because at the 11th hour, a request for additional information, which is not that much information. It's a very small handful of pages for you. So in my opinion, I don't feel that should slow down the process here. And without a formal site plan application, we gave you everything we could do. So I don't see why it can't be consolidated and just reviewed and approved, see, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, I don't agree, but I I mean, you do agree that we have 30 days to review the application for whether it's complete. You agree with that?
Yeah.
You agree that on the 29th day, we could vote that it's not complete
Correct.
and then we start over. So I'm proposing that we don't do that because that might build in a lot more delay. But let's keep talking. Jason
Gates, I'm on butter. I've been watching this process for what, a year and a half? I don't know. It's been a very, very long time. Yeah, the land, most of the land been cleared, most of the work's been done. They haven't been able to really use it other than storage. It's just been like a very long process and we kind of respect this as not a major construction, major project and let him move forward and start using his land. He's paying taxes on and expects to use, it'd be nice to get some completion on this.
Be nice, what?
If you could get some completion on this.
We will, one way or the other, for sure. Ted, go ahead.
You mentioned earlier, back in Bailey, about bringing attention to site plan review application lack thereof. Over a year ago, we were visiting this thing at the same time. Again, my thought, here we are over a year later, now only a little different procedure for this process, and it should be the same process I went through last time. And have a separate hearing now, site plan review for the road, then we'll have another hearing for the pier, because they're two different things. It's one and the same property, it's all the same business, it should be handled jointly. You don't have an application, so there's no reason you probably cannot, easily commingle the two and make a simple decision on it, and have two separate hearings or two meetings deciding which one conforms, which one does not.
And to clarify, that's what I'm saying, Ted. Site plan review on both things. And then you do have to get individual permits for both things, but we can probably do that in one go.
Why is it tonight one go? Because, like I said, it was submitted a month ago.
Mm.
It had the trees that we were clearing, it had the footage, it, now we're all, we got the NRPA permit. We're thinking we're gonna get approval tonight, and you're saying it still hasn't been completed as two individuals or as one together, or?
One site plan
Hold
review.
on, hold on, let
At
me,
June 10th meeting, I was very rushed.
Ted,
Very
no,
rushed.
no question, and I apologize.
Okay, yeah, that's fine, yeah, okay, we're busy agenda here, just give us what you have and.
No question. It was a rush deal. There's no question. We had the Verizon thing and a lot of people,
We're paying the price time wise for it.
I totally get that.
Site visit, when you had back to backs, okay? You could have said an hour. I need more questions, I need to walk the land. You were there at 5 o'clock, you were gone at 20 after. You probably, I bet you spent 10 minutes there walking and looking at the property and, you know, thinking about, oh, erosion control.
Yeah.
Like I said,
Yeah, I'll respond in a moment. Demi, go ahead.
No, I'd just like to put this in context for everybody in the room that, yes, a site plan application might have seemed simple in comparison to Bailey's situation, but in that situation, it was literally a gallery and a flower shed where this is a CFMA. It first came to us as a CFMA zone property. We had to get it voted by the town to have a CFMA. I mean, the process for CFMA in itself is long, and that may need town approval. So the board has been doing its best. You know, there's not just a one umbrella application for this specific property because of its CFMA zoning, it's commercial zoning. And, you know, I think they've been doing their best. I wasn't there on the last site visit because I was out of town, but the board has been doing their best and been doing special meetings to expedite the process, knowing that it's a costly process.
Okay, let me just respond to a couple of things, because I think it's important to keep the history in mind. The site plan. Sorry. The site plan review ordinance was adopted in 2017. This is 2026, and there has been no application. And
No longer than that.
well,
Site plan review been around since 2008 or something.
okay, I'm just referring to the date of the ordinance we have in front of me, so yeah, even longer. So, yeah, so we've got a kind of a problem, and we're now facing it, this board, that many of the members have only been on the board for a couple, 3 years, are facing it for the first time. So, we are addressing the fact that there's no application. It's creating a problem for you, it created a problem for Bailey. And it may be because there just weren't that many applications in the past, I don't know. But we are addressing that. We are going to come up with an application, so we won't have this problem in the future. But second, with respect to the site visit, yeah, I mean, the light bulb went off in my head when I went down there, and I'm very glad we have the opportunity for the site visits, because what I was seeing wasn't what I understood was going to happen. Ted, you were rushed, I was rushed, and that's what happened. And so we're trying to do the best we can to move to the next block. So the other comment I want to make is, because I want to keep our tracks clear here. The peer review, as I understand it, is totally independent of the site plan process.
Mm-hmm.
There ain't nothing about the site plan that's going to affect the peer review application. And it seems to me that those are two very separate things. And I'll just ask the applicant, is this, if we take some additional time to look at what you gave us tonight, is that going to retard your work schedule and doing the work on the pier? if we,
Retired, no, it's just, this seems like a different process.
I get it, we're all in this soup together, our job is to try to apply the ordinances, I get what you're saying. Let's just kind of work it out, work it, make it work. Problem is, we don't have that, unfettered discretion, and you don't want us to have that unfettered discretion. Our job is to follow the rules and apply the rules. You don't want us just kind of winging it for every application, because then there are no rules. So at any rate,
Remember the last site plan review we went through? See your pre-application, did a site visit, and the following meeting, we went through the criteria and standards, you go over and approved it. Now it's,
yeah.
because of the peer involved, I guess it's entirely different procedure.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with the pier. It's all about the road and taking all those trees out and building a road through the shoreline zone. The pad, when we came to review the pad, it was clear cut already. And you were just applying to us for that specific pad to make the improvements, which was laying down fill, I think, but at any rate, improving that pad. We weren't cutting down trees. We weren't putting a road through the shoreline zone, the buffer area. And the site plan ordinance requires us to apply certain criteria that we can't apply without without more information. And that information is provided tonight. And I apologize. Yeah, I'm sorry I didn't look at it sooner. I'm sorry I didn't figure it out sooner, but this is a volunteer board. We're not paid. We don't have staff, and doing the best we can to. So at any rate, April, go ahead.
So the site plan review process is a long process, and there's a few steps to it. There's the pre-application meeting that you mentioned, Ted. There's optional site visits. One important step that I think we all need to be a little more clear on is that we have to vote that an application is complete. And that got a little tangled up because I believe at the last meeting, we were all kind of thinking it was a peer permit application. And now we realize, oh, if this is site plan review, it involves a road and a pier, and we need to vote.
I mentioned, I wrote on that application, site plan review.
Right.
So I
Yeah.
didn't mention that.
So
There's no question.
So pre-app meeting, vote that the application is complete, hearing. So it's the 3-month process for site plan review, which is why it's best to do as much as you can in one site plan review. The idea, the vision for site plan review is, here's everything I want to do on the property. We give you the thumbs up, and then you go about getting your permits, and you don't have to come back for this whole 3-month process. And I understand you guys didn't want to do that because you
You
didn't
don't
have,
have a permit, April.
you can
Well, it
continue
takes, what, 8
the,
months?
Yeah.
Or, it takes probably 7, 8 months for permits.
yes.
And we bailed on it then
Right.
because we had no idea. We said, we'll just come back for everything.
Right. And I understand you had a good reason to piece it out the way you're doing. It's inconvenient for you, and I wish that we could do it quickly, but it has to be site plan review. We have to follow the ordinance. So that's why it's taking some time. But we'll do it as fast as we can. We just have to follow, we can't make it up. We have to follow the ordinance.
Board members, any other comments?
So what's our next step
Just
here?
reviewing the ad.
Sorry.
Just reviewing the.
Oh, okay. Well, do you all want to take a minute to look at what was submitted and see if we can go forward on the application tonight?
Yeah, I mean, we could cram 2 things into one meeting. It's a little tough because we just got the stuff, but we could vote it's complete, and we could perhaps proceed to the hearing, I think.
Anything's possible.
Yeah.
Anything's possible. All right, why don't we take a 5-10 minute break, give the board time to look at what you all submitted, and we'll come back to that.
Do we know how many
We're-
trees are from the shoreline zone? Do we know how many trees they're being removing in the shoreline zone?
There's a table in the initial application.
Looking at this map, it looks like all.
So the initial one that they sent, that initial slide picture package, they have a table of the quantity and the size of the trees, so I don't see page numbers.
Some people,
Yeah,
I'm people like, I don't know if all this punishment or.
There's nothing preventing the applicant from submitting a master plan.
Yeah, I mean, I think, I mean, from my standpoint, this is as close as we're gonna get right now to a site plan. I'm guessing, and we can ask the applicants when we reconvene, I'm guessing that the trees that they're removing, the trees within that area. That's what,
About this, it's like this.
that's what,
Because I can go down to the water, I talked to Deb about this, and those put nuts.
Did they mark the trees?
No, they're more, the area is lower.
yeah, I think there was,
Did they discuss the erosion plan for the road? For that trees.
all they say in here is that there's no erosion. That's all they
There's
say.
I haven't read it. I think so. Going.
Well,
yeah. Let's see. Oh, I need it back.
Yeah.
I'll take her.
Stephen on the movie, so we're gonna all.
Yeah, I just.
I know, we were just saying, as a board, not review something. Just thought it necessary.
We get the rest of the business and they come back.
However, the board wants to do it.
Oh, yeah, no, it's not.
If we're gonna table it, I would, you know, we could have a special meeting. I would,
I know.
it's gonna be a long meeting as it is.
Yeah.
Well, I guess,
Right.
I would feel comfortable voting that it's complete at this point.
See what?
I would feel comfortable voting that the app is complete, I guess. I think we could do a special meeting for a hearing to.
Yes, I'd like to do that.
Correct. I could do the hearing in the same way as a just a permit. But the road, we don't really have a permit application for the road.
Now waiting.
We have a permit application for the road.
Correct.
And I mean, we could sign what he has here, cross out the site plan.
Yes, right. So it says.
Okay,
Also, I'd like to point out that on the summary to the butters, even the pier being constructed, not a road. Yeah. So if this is not butters, then
yeah, it's been mixed all, so.
So we should have done this, but I grew up, you know.
Well, we won't let this happen again. We'll have an application. We get it.
ask a technical. So said that. Yeah, she can have a stuff over here, whatever, that was like, but they need a permit for road. Is the goal, is that you have the site, in order to approve the site plan. Review, that we need the permit. Right.
No.
You don't need it for site plan.
Right.
And
That's what I was.
just to put a point on it, we do the site plan review. And we approve, sign the plan. Then it goes to the CEO and he signs a permit.
Yeah.
And he doesn't do anything more than say, okay, the planning board. doesn't match that.
So overall, top holder, the site plan, the use of the land, and then further their permit, and then they go through whatever channels in the back.
Yeah.
In this case, proving the pink person, that's under our jurisdiction, but the road is not under our jurisdiction, that's.
Areas of it,
Which sits within the shorelands, that. We do, when something is in the shoreline, like if a house is within the 75 section. Not conforming, yeah, you know, nobody's doing new construction, but when they're doing.
and that's a later on issue. Right, not worried about it today, but on technicality, I want to bring up is that the notice for this is a pain in the ass for here, and I've already done it for today. Yes. It has become for something that's some annoying timeline, so it will push a special meeting. Yeah. So we can't So I guess our choice is, are we ready to?
It is.
Say this is, or Pete, you're going to.
Yeah.
And if not, are we willing to schedule that special meeting as far out as it needs to go?
Yes.
If we did a special meeting, we should have gone to the special meeting.
Right.
To go through the same checklist we went through with Bailey, same checklist as to the road in the shoreline, the buffer.
I mean, I. Every master plan. And they kind of did, yes, and it was.
Doesn't it run this? Okay, you're supposed to like. Yes. Yeah, right. Well, yeah, go back for that, but that was it. I've heard. From understand. Here, right? Review criteria for road here.
My preference would be to put it all. I don't, we heard Ted say it's not gonna cramp our style, put it off, even if we put it off to the next meeting.
Well, there's actually a notice in here for. So. No, I wanted to make sure. Yeah.
That's not best. Thank you, God.
All right, what I'm gonna do when we reconvene is, I'm going to call for a decision on the application for peer permit. Call for vote on the application for peer. And then with respect to the site plan,
We don't want to vote on the peer project because we have to do the site plan and start.
site plan, you don't have anything to do with the peer. That's what I'm saying. It's apples and oranges.
It's first.
There's nothing about the peer permit that relies on the site plan. It's a totally separate thing.
Site plan review.
There are two permits.
Yeah.
One permit is for here. Second permit is for the work that's being done in the shoreline zone. I'm only gonna deal with the permit for the here.
Right.
Second permit. First step is site plan review and put that.
We're doing a site plan review here.
There is no site, we don't have a site plan review for here. We don't. Gary? Yeah, we're gonna obviously review this in public, but
So that's.
site plan review here application. Do we need a site plan review for the peer application?
They were still.
The reason you need a site plan review is because of non-review.
Correct.
So
Yeah.
here in and of itself is one where it's a site plan. But the
Yeah.
commercial use of the pool, yeah.
Right.
Okay, so the difference is, this is, if it were residents, there'd be no site plan. review.
No required site.
Because it's a commercial pier, we do require a site plan review.
And it's the use that requires.
The land use.
And with respect to the land use, the site plan review for the pier is what? Pier stuff or
It has to do, with anything involved with the use. So if the use of the pier involves road, that's part of their review.
You can bunch several projects into one site plan review, so they're bunching two projects into one site plan review. And then we can permit the pier after we finish that site plan review. Finish that, and then you permit the pier, and then I guess they'll submit.
We
land
can't,
use application.
we can't. So we can't do anything until we do a site plan review.
Correct.
So we're gonna postpone that or?
So if the application's complete, I think we should do a special meeting, so we just have a week or two, probably 2 weeks for notice.
It's 3 notices.
And so. 2 weeks for hearing on the site plan review on both the peak and the road. And at the same meeting, because we're the permitting of pier. We could go ahead and permit the pier, because we basically, we have the packet ready. It's one thing. But this is so do that better. However, you need to let Ted know that he should submit the land use application to Mary. Yeah.
Which will pick over to us.
I think it's really.
No.
He's done, it's part of his original application.
Yeah, it's all.
Okay.
It just wasn't fine as well as you would.
I for sure. But we're things right after.
Okay.
Well, Gary.
Wait, you permit the.
Are you,
Or maybe we.
in order to issue a shoreline zoning permit, you have to start it off. So technically, the whole plan.
It's just like
certified.
the piers where we do the vote and you actually issue the thing.
I'm basically your accountant. Secretary.
So, to review with everyone, the planning board has jurisdiction over commercial activity on the island through the site plan review ordinance. Because this is commercial activity, he originally applied in October, right? For a part of his site plan. He's now added more to the site plan ordinance, which is why we're revisiting the site plan hearing process. And in order to issue permits for anything, it needs to go through the site plan ordinance review process first, right? And then once that's approved by planning board, then we can go through the permitting process. Okay.
Yeah, I feel it's better, and I don't think it's a lot to ask for Ted to submit. See, this application, it's a. Yeah, in the past, we had peer permit buildings. And this is the only peer permit, it doesn't say anything about the road, the attachments to one, but wouldn't it be better to have? Something? Yeah, right. And then we have both permit applications, and then Gary has something to fill out,
Yeah.
because you're not gonna give a single permit. For your thing.
The answer is, what did he do before? He submitted the application.
The first part.
Site plan for the pen.
But it's just one thing, this is two.
Well, but you're saying there should be 2 applications. And I disagree with.
But you said it was a part of his initial plan back in October, the road.
Yeah, I mean, you were just looking at it. It was just like you didn't have a site plan showing the.
Right.
Poles.
Whoa. It wasn't a pad.
No.
So, okay, let's move forward.
Okay.
Well, thank you, Dave. All right. Guys, have ideas for what we're doing? All right, we're gonna go ahead and reconvene. Thank you all for your patience. Thank you, Ed and Tom, for your patience. Okay, we've had a chance to consider the new materials, and I'll ask the board for a motion as to how we, let me first, does the board have any questions of the applicant before we go forward?
Quick one.
Go ahead.
Are you guys aware there's a line, I think it's in the Army Corps of Engineers or something that says you can't cut any trees between April and September 30th?
We are. Yeah. We're not gonna cut any trees until after September.
So we have, I'll do that, okay.
That's all.
All right,
Yeah.
Yeah,
now that we've resolved that important issue.
But that is the construction of the pier.
I see, okay,
Right.
yeah, just the road.
All right, any other questions from the board to the applicant? Applicant, anything else that you all wanted to say? Ted, Tom?
Quiet.
You're ready? Okay. All right, board, do I have a motion from the board?
I move to vote that the application is complete.
A second.
All in favor? 4 in favor? I'll vote no, since I'm the one that raised a fuss about it. All right, so the motion carries. The application is considered to be complete. Do I have another motion?
I'd like to see if we could schedule a hearing on this project as soon as we can. And I know we have this, again, send out notices, so we're thinking about 2 weeks. Would that be something the board would be comfortable with?
If we, today's the 8th, we could do it the 22nd, and I could have notice in the papers twice before then, I think. So if I get notice in, I will have notice in, it'll run in the 15th editions. And then it can run in the 22nd edition. The second publication, I think, is supposed to be 7 days, however. So it might have to be the 29th. Let me just make sure.
Okay.
So we have a motion to schedule a special
Meeting to include a public hearing.
How,
limited to this application.
yes, how close are we to our regular meeting at that point?
2 weeks away.
Okay. Reasonable amount. I just want to double check that. Notice of this hearing should be given to the applicant and published 2 times in local papers. The date of the second publication must be at least 7 days before the hearing. So it has to be the 29th is the fastest we could. Yeah.
All right, so we have a motion to schedule a special hearing to consider once and for all this final application. And do I have a second?
You do, I want to mention that we can also do the permits at the same meeting. So that can also be a part of that meeting. The peer
So
and the
site plan review.
site plan review hearing, and then peer permit vote. It's just an agenda item.
Okay.
And the road permit vote thing.
Okay. I agree with that.
Did I hear a second?
Second?
All in favor? Unanimous? Okay,
Is at 6 p.m. on?
6 p.m. on the 29th. Ted and Tom, thank you all very much for your patience.
That works.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you guys. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Thank you all. Whenever anybody has an application like this, they're going to come to Ted because he's now the expert.
What goes wrong?
I know. Thank you guys. Thank you. Appreciate you. Okay, next item on the agenda is the Verizon application site plan review status. I think we have somebody here from the applicant.
Yes, good evening.
Good evening. You're Mr. Bergdorf?
Yes.
Very nice to meet you. Welcome. Hope you get a chance to visit either Sprague's or Red's while you're here. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you will soon. All right. What we have on the agenda for tonight is what I will call non-substantive. We're here to talk about the schedule going forward. I think everybody has received my effort to try to carve this up into a schedule that would be most productive. And I think I've said it probably more times than anybody has cared to hear it. But for the members of the public who are here and who are interested, the proposed timeline that I've drafted for the board to consider is designed to do a couple of things. Number one, to meet the deadlines of the ordinance. Curtis referenced the criteria of the ordinance. There's a lot more to it than that. It sets deadlines for things to happen and for the application to move forward. So the goal is to meet those deadlines, and the goal is also to provide ample time for what I will call public study sessions. There's already been some discussions and give and take about, alternative sites, about, expert, advice, about, getting more information about what's being proposed and how it all works. So, my thought in drafting up this proposed timeline was to give us and the applicant as much time as possible to just sit down and talk about it face to face, hear all the nitty gritty, from the applicant, give the applicant an opportunity to hear from the community, and then ideally, I mean, I'm aspirational about this, but I would love to see a small group come out of the first meeting that's just going to sit down and get into brass tacks, and it probably involve some of the technical folks or the field folks from the applicant, so that we could see if there is a win-win solution for the community, as well as the applicant. So that's the reason for the proposed timeline. And just to be upfront about it, it builds in some additional time that would be an extension of the time limits in the ordinance. It would build in a continuance of one case 3 weeks and another case maybe a couple of days, in order to merge proposed 2 sets of public study sessions with the board's regularly scheduled meetings. So I guess what I would invite first, since the applicant is the key party to this part of the discussion, does Verizon have any thoughts about the proposed timeline? Any suggested changes, depending upon what you all would like to accomplish?
Appreciate you setting this up ahead of time. The only thing I would ask is that perhaps we just have a little bit of flexibility as you pick a date. If it's especially for the first meeting, I'm gonna get everybody here who can answer the questions. There's site ed folks, there's RF engineers, there's civil engineers, there's the principals. So I'd just like to do, because we're hearings all over the place. I just want to be able to coordinate the meetings. So I just need a little bit of time to check with all of them once we look at the dates.
If you give us the time cushion, so we're not in a crunch and trying to jam it through on decisions, you've just witnessed how that played out in another application. If you're comfortable giving us the buffer time, we will schedule it first when it's most convenient for you all, because you're coming here from out of town and long distances, and as you say, coordinating all the people. So I can almost say, give us your dates, and all we have to do is make sure the town hall would be available to do it.
That's great. And after that one, I don't necessarily need all of that. It would depend on what direction the town is taking us.
Yeah.
And then I can.
Yeah. I think, I mean, I don't want to speak for the community or the board, but just from my own impressions, I think you'll find that folks here are very interesting, and thoughtful. So I think you will find a high level of conversation about these issues, and one that is very caring and embracing. So anyway, so that sounds great. In terms of specifics, if you have some dates.
The first would be a public hearing, right? You have the public hearing, have all those experts here.
Yeah, so let me, and that's a great question. And I don't mean to monopolize this conversation. If other board members have thoughts, please chime in. But my thought is, for at least the first meeting and maybe the first 2 meetings, depending on what happens in the first meeting, these are what I would call public study sessions. It's not, quotes, the public hearing. This would be kind of a working conversation. And then we would schedule the public hearing at some later time. I don't remember if I have set a date yet, but
who do you envision at these first 2 meetings? Who do you envision? The board would be there, correct?
Everybody.
Okay.
everybody. I mean, this is kind of your opportunity to talk to the entire community. And, you know, who knows? I mean, we may get 100 people there, we may get 5. Yeah,
But I definitely just wanted the board there, but ultimately,
oh, yeah.
we take direction from the board, giving the public will raise things. In the end, everything goes through the board.
Yeah,
So I just want to make sure the board.
And we're gonna moderate it, right? And, you know, their two goals obviously is to hear as much from you all as we can, give the community opportunity to ask you questions. I mean, there are all kinds of questions that come out of this, I think. And it'll be helpful for folks just to have a good understanding as to how, what you do works, right? I mean, so if we put a tower, wherever, am I gonna have better cell service? And, you know, what are permutations of that? How does that all work? And, you know, you've got proposed additional, locations on the tower for other, vendors. So what does that mean? AT&T, you know, what? So the more we can learn about you, what you do and what you're proposing, the better. And then you're going to hear from the community, you know. I can't begin to anticipate all the things you're going to hear, but I think there'll be serious questions, serious, communication, and I think it'd be really helpful for everyone. So that's my vision of it. And whether we have a second meeting, we can schedule a second meeting now, but what we do at that second meeting, or does it break down into a smaller group that kind of, you know, puts their nose to the grindstone and comes up with some proposals? All different ways it could go. So we just want to get started, but I don't want to lock us into the public hearing, which then generates a decision until we've had a chance to thrash it out. And I think, because if for no other reason, I think that final public hearing will be much more informed and productive if we do the groundwork before. Muriel?
So I think it's likely to be very helpful to have some community meetings for sure, but we're doing this in the context of site plan review. So as we talk with the public and these folks talk about their project, we have to be talking about it in the course of our talking about the ordinance. So I'm a little concerned too that we're gonna get off track a little bit or far afield
No.
in the sense of, can we bring it back to issues that are addressed in the site plan review?
Yeah, and that's a good point, Mary. I mean, I should have said, you know, there are basically 3 things that are gonna happen. One is we're gonna hear from the applicant. Number 2, we're gonna hear from the public, but first, they're gonna hear from us. And we're gonna say,
Yes.
here's what's going on, folks. We've got an application. We've got 50 pages of ordinance that we have to apply to the application. That's the issue. That's what we're doing, and that'll help focus the conversation. But at the same time, I think, you know, to put all this in context, people who will be better informed if they hear a little bit more about what's going on.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, but excellent point. I mean, you know, as part of what I hope we do throughout the year, and perhaps other public meetings, is really begin to educate the community as to how this all works.
And we need a bigger meeting room then for it.
Well, we'd like to think so. April.
A couple proposals. So we just scheduled a 7/29 special hearing, rather than, I see you have here continuing or having an extension on the deadline to determine the application complete. I think if we voted it on, oh no, the completeness deadline is the 24th, July 24th. I was gonna say we could vote on it on the 29th, but we would still need a continuance.
Yeah, so why don't we just walk through it? I mean, since we're all kind of getting into the weeds here a little bit.
Can I mention one more proposal,
Okay.
really quickly? Instead of calling these public hearings, we could have site visits, which the public is invited to. They start at the town hall. We go over there, do our site visit. So we have space. I sort of share Mary Ellen's concern that we don't want to wander to a field from the ordinance, right? So we have, as a planning board, we have the right to do site visits I don't know if we have the right to call public hearings.
Well, we do, but we're
I
not
mean,
calling
one-
them public hearings.
Right.
Yeah, we have the public hearing, but what
Right.
I'm calling these are,
Study sessions.
Thank you.
We have the right to call study sessions. I know we have the right to do site visits.
I have it on good advice that we do.
Okay.
I just want to bring it back to recusals, and conflicts of interest on the top thing.
Oh,
So,
I
Yeah,
apologize.
okay, I was wondering if it was gonna come up.
I'm
So,
sorry, I'm sorry.
our last special meeting, we reviewed the criteria for participation, involving conflicts of interest and recusals. At that meeting, I think April immediately recused herself.
Yeah, I should not be talking about this.
Right.
Thank you.
So,
I can't help.
so when April, and then I gave notice that included the property that I own is included within the application as I am 1,000 feet within the proposal of this application for the proposal of this location of the tower. And that my family, not my parents, but my brother, owns property that abuts the tower. So I wrote to the chair of the board some days ago that I am recusing from this application in relation to this location of tower, but remain the right to vote on any future locations and any amendments or future applications of the tower. So in any conversation of this application regarding this specific location, I'm going to partake as a member of the public and as an audience member and not partake as a planning.
Yes, I apologize. That was the first thing we should have addressed, so my fault. Thank you for getting us back on track, Demi. April,
Yeah,
did you have a statement with respect to conflicts of interest?
yes. So at the last meeting, I already recused myself from this matter. I think any site really. So I'll go beyond Demi's recusal. I didn't give the details. I gave you a vague reason about living near it. And the reason I didn't is because I didn't want to influence the board against this current consideration. But now I'm ready to give you the details, and I think it's safe that I won't influence you. And I'll get into that in a minute. Essentially, Jim and I, my husband, offered our property as one possibility for this lease after that meeting where our neighbors, the Hamiltons, were so upset. We live on a hilltop, half a mile down the road, and we have a cleared site at the top of the hill that would be probably ideal for such a thing. So I sent an email to Bob from my personal email. He got me in touch with the tower people. I've had one conversation with them where they made a ridiculous offer. And the reason I'm willing to tell you guys this now, and I'm not afraid that it will influence you, is that I've heard from the tower company, there are others interested. So there's option, and I know Verizon mentioned this too, I think at the last meeting, that there are other site possibilities. So I didn't want to jeopardize Mr. Philbrick's lease by putting myself out there. But now that I know there's other people who are interested as well, I feel a little bit better about that. And I'll just say, like, we aren't very interested. Like, we're gonna leave ourselves in the running in case we end up being the only viable site, but we're not interested in a bidding war with our neighbors or helping Verizon get the lowest price possible. So we're kind of staying in as a last option, and it would have to be a very good price because it would be basically right on top of us.
Sure.
So that's why I'm completely recusing from the whole consideration. And have fun with this, Susan. I think you're a voting member now. 'Cause sit over here if I can find.
All right, thank you both, Demi and April, for your thoughtful consideration of the issue. I know those kinds of things are never easy, particularly when you're as interested as we all are in the subject matter of the application. So thank you all for your thoughtful analysis and disclosures. April, we will probably still be calling on you with respect to town clerk kinds of questions with respect to the application. But otherwise, thank you. Okay, so I should ask, just in the excess of caution, do any other board members have any concerns regarding conflicts? All right, Jeff isn't present, but I haven't heard anything from him. Okay, all right. Second item that I didn't address either. I just want to make sure everybody has a hard copy of the application. We have extras here in the box. Thank you to the applicant for those. Everybody good there? Okay. I had to confirm that notice was certified to the abutters. Mr. Bergdorf, I think you all filed that. Okay. All right. So now we're at the schedule part. Okay. Mr. Bergdorf, I'll be kind of looking at you and if then
Just, I'm sorry.
yeah, and board members as we go through this. To the rest of the public, again, this is a kind of a tedious, hold on just a minute. This is kind of a tedious part of the process, perhaps, not as interesting as the merits. But what we're doing right now is figuring out dates when certain things have to happen. And so we're going to walk through those with the applicant, see what we can agree on, and then hopefully end up with a schedule that we will both sign off on. Members of the public, Demi.
Can I circulate copies of the application to the public?
Yeah, we don't have, I don't think we have one for everybody, but they were kind enough to produce extra ones. So if anybody wants. We're not going to be. We're not gonna get into the weeds on this right now, but
One more? Please.
Anybody else?
Yeah.
Anybody else? Anybody else? Anybody else? All right, and I lose April already. Oh. April, I think we have this on digital as well.
Actually, Mr. Bergdorf, I wanted to ask you, Attorney Bergdorf, sorry. The link that you sent in, would that work for anybody? Like, could I?
It's all public knowledge, yeah, and it
Okay.
should be still active. If it's not, let me know, we'll make sure it's.
I will put that on the website so that anyone can access.
Yeah, perfect. Whenever we advertise our meetings, we'll call attention to that if we can in April. So that everybody can look at it online if they don't have a hard copy. Okay. All right. So any other questions from the community? Oh, yes, ma'am. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Hi, I'm Bonnie Hamilton. I'm the one who lives next to this property. I'm just gonna give you guys my letter here. I'm just illustrating some of my concerns.
Okay.
And I'd just like to actually read this to everybody so that they can hear. Bonnie, I know you're not supposed to be English.
Bonnie,
Yeah, I will get when she's done.
hold on.
I
Bonnie.
need to read from it.
Hold on, Bonnie, if you don't mind. All we're talking about right now is the schedule. We're
Okay,
gonna get into the merits of this, at the next meeting. All we're trying to do today is set a schedule, for example, of when.
I
when you can-
understand that, so there's no public opportunity, so I stayed up late tonight I get up at 3 a.m. This is really pretty actually bad, in bed now. I stayed up too late, it's too late, I can't read this to you, I can't make my concerns known to you tonight. You want me to do that some other time?
Well, just so you understand what's going on here, Rick. We want you and everyone else.
Understand what's going on, they're gonna put a tower next to my house, and you know, so.
Let John explain.
Go ahead, John.
Let explain. Let John
Yeah.
explain.
We want to give everyone a chance to say everything and anything they want. Nothing's being decided without lots and lots of discussion, okay?
Okay, well,
I-
you guys have scheduled
Oh.
for a sale sign on your property. And we're pretty upset about it, so,
Totally understand.
you
And
know, I'd like to be able to
I can, if you give the applicant a copy, you're gonna have an opportunity to not only read this. Ms. Hamilton, you're gonna have an opportunity to not only read this, but you're gonna have an opportunity to talk to each and every one of his people who are experts in this area, and ask them questions about it. And you're gonna get answers to those questions. That can't happen tonight because he's not ready, we're not ready, and I know you've put a lot of work into this, but the work that you put into it is not wasted. Okay, it's just a matter of timing. When are we gonna do it? So you've rang the bell. You've rang the bell, and there's gonna be an abundance of opportunity to talk about it. And the other thing is, see how small a group we have here? I'm hoping that when you get a chance to talk about this, you're gonna have 100 people in the room. And you're gonna educate more people than you would tonight, okay? So if you'll bear with us and give us a chance to get everything organized, I think you're gonna be a lot happier with the result than trying to jam something through today, because
I hope you're right, that I'm gonna be.
I guarantee-
With the results.
I guarantee you,
Right.
I guarantee you,
Understand, we got a letter from the lawyers asking us to be here tonight.
I can't speak for any lawyers. I can't speak to any lawyers. All I can do is tell you what we do. People don't tell me what to do. The board does what it does, okay?
Understood.
So,
It was my understanding that invitation by the attorneys to us was an invitation for them to meet us. They asked us to be here and they wanted to know our position.
yep, you all can talk to whoever you want to talk to at any,
Okay, that's fine. I'll have my attorneys deal with that.
okay, well, let me finish my sentence.
Okay.
Anybody can talk to anybody they want to about this at any time, right?
You
Art-
never done last time I looked.
Okay, let me finish. Our job here is to try to organize a process so we get from point A to point B in the most open, transparent, thoughtful, careful ways. Okay,
We're just
so
messages is all, John. We're just getting mixed messages. We're told,
I know,
come, speak, let
okay.
us know what your
If you have any,
concerns are.
if
know,
you,
we did that.
I hear you. If you have any questions at any time, email, me, call me, and I'll let you know what is happening from the board's perspective. I can't speak for anybody else, but I can tell you what the board is doing. And if you have any questions, if you're getting mixed messages, if you're getting conflicting information, please call me. You've got my,
Definitely do that.
yeah, you've got my number, you've got my email, and I'm working full time, but I will get back to you within 24 hours, I promise.
That's also hard for the attorney, how to get in touch with them directly.
Okay, so, all right. Thank you, guys. Thank you. We're gonna keep working with you, okay? Okay, all right, folks.
Good night.
You guys be safe.
Thanks, Scott.
Thanks, Frank. We'll be in touch.
All right. With respect to the schedule, we passed the date when we received and Mark filed the application, so we're good there. We've got June 26th as our beginning point. The next date is to decide whether or not the application is complete based upon my conservative counting through the calendar. That was July 24th, which was the working day before the Sunday it fell on. So let's stop there for a moment. My proposal would be to try to schedule at least one and perhaps two, what I will call public study sessions between now and the date that we have to decide whether the application is complete. And I have proposed some dates there to the applicant.
If I just, propose a date. So my understanding is you want to have at least 2 meetings for the public meeting.
Yeah, I think,
And frankly, if going down a path where it takes more, then it takes more. but just to get something on the schedule.
Yeah,
My suggestion would be that, 3 weeks from now, July 29th, and we'll waive or extend Wheaton Estate. So it matches up with the 29th. And let me just, and all these dates, if you would just give me, 48 hours to verify with everybody, but as of tonight, tentatively, and I'll confirm it pretty quickly. 29th to shoot for the first meeting, and then a lot of information is gonna be brought out there. We'll give people a few weeks to chew on that, to think about it. Including alternate sites, to understand where the limits of the technology are, what flexibility we have. So I'm suggesting the second one on August 19th. That gives about 3 weeks. And then if we're ready, move on to the public hearing on September 9th. Or if we need more time, we need more time, but at least we have those 3 dates, and I will pin those down. So at least tonight, I'm looking at those 3 dates, if that works for the town, and I'll try to get everybody else lined up.
okay. I think we scheduled our special meeting on the 29th for Ted's thing, yeah. So I'm sorry, we could do it,
It's a bad one, we can pick another day.
yeah, and within that, we could do it, within a day or two, I mean,
Yeah, let's, maybe we could shoot for the 27th or 28th. Could I just verify who's available?
yeah,
Shoot for the 28th.
board members, what do you think?
I got nothing going on, so.
Which date?
Oh, good, you're mine.
20th? Susan, Dick,
I'm free that day too, the 28th.
28th, Dick?
27th possibility, just to give people some.
27th is okay too.
Okay, those dates are fine with me too, 27, 28. So, we'll do parentheses, 27th, 8th.
Okay.
Then August
The
19th.
select board meeting, just letting you know,
I'm sorry.
27th is the select board meeting.
So, okay, so we don't want to step on.
27, okay.
Let's shoot to the 28th.
Yeah, probably the 28th would be best then. Thank you, Don.
Yeah.
I didn't know Donna was still here.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
We'll allow that.
All right. Mr. Bergdorf, I don't know if you've met her, but Donna Curry is our first select person. She's the town mayor, if we have a mayor. All right. All right, so yes, 6 o'clock. Okay.
Is this gonna be at the town hall?
Is the town hall available? The 28th, do we think?
There's a lot of stuff going on, I think it's okay, I have to look at it.
Okay, so these are soft, but we're,
With your guys.
And that's the other building.
Yes,
yeah,
Yeah.
A few more chairs are available.
Yes, that's, the 28th is open for the town hall.
okay, cool.
Okay.
All right, so then we're looking at August 19th as a possible date for the second meeting, which is also a Wednesday. Board members, how does that look for you all?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, that looks, town hall available,
That's a Wednesday, yes, town hall, available. Yes.
okay, cool. And then that brings us to our September 9th meeting, regular scheduled meeting, so we will all be here. Is that date available for the town hall? That would be our public hearing date.
Yes.
Okay,
That's a plan. A regular meeting. Have to cancel the rest of it.
I'd like to have just a little conversation right now with respect to the July 28th and August 19th dates. Do we want to do a site visit on either of those 2 dates or a separate date?
Maybe we could do it on one of those dates. I don't know whether we could do like at 5:30. Or, I mean, depending on logistics and stuff, but if we
Yeah.
could do it ahead of the 6 p.m.
On the 19th, ahead of the 19th, from the public, Demi?
Is this a site visit where the abutters are welcome to join?
Oh,
Yes.
well, yeah, I mean, everybody, we'd invite the town, I could be here.
Are we thinking August 19th? Is that
Yeah, August 19th.
If we could do something at 5
Okay,
or
fine.
5:30, whatever logistically makes sense.
Okay,
So
okay.
this is considered an informal site review, right? It's just, they're just taking a peek at what
Well,
exists there.
as informal, formal, all site reviews are formal. It's a meeting, will be there or will be public noticed. So
Okay,
So to figure out.
it'll be just like our site review, meetings.
So we'll just, we have
And
to
we
think,
continue it at the town hall.
just have to think about how we might wanna recommend parking and getting there and stuff like that.
Understood,
To the site.
understood, yeah. Well, I think we'll have a sense from that first meeting as to
Okay.
what kind of turnout we might have.
Park at the Demi's Drive.
You got a light here?
All right, we'll at least have that as a option,
Oh, okay.
okay? We'll be more definitive about it after the July 28th meeting,
Okay,
but we'll have at least scheduled a second public meeting of some kind, public study session on the 19th, okay. Then September 9th brings us to the public hearing. And then, we have 30 days after the public hearing to make a final decision. And, you know, depending, as the applicant indicated, depending upon how things go, there may be some interest in continuing that time period out for further public study sessions. Okay. All right. I think I've checked the boxes. Is there anything we're missing in terms of the schedule? Okay,
and I
a couple.
send a question.
Yeah, I was just gonna get to that.
Okay.
Yeah, hold on. I was just gonna get to that. So first of all, before I forget about it, board members, be mindful of the discipline that we need to follow in the site plan or the site visits. It's a formal meeting, and we have to stay together, make sure that we're all in the same, you know, within hearing distance of each other, and that the person taking the minutes is present too. You know, we'll have a little bit of a formal process for that. Then, with respect to questions from the board, obviously no control over questions from the public that may come to the applicant through various sources or means. But any questions from the board to the applicant, I would like to, again, discipline ourselves so that they go through a funnel point. Dick, I'd be happy to designate you or volunteer you as the person who would kind of keep track of all of those, because whatever requests are made by the board, we want to keep a record of those. Make sure all the board members get it, make sure all the board members get the response, and then keep a record of both the question and the response from the board member or from the applicant, because we now have to publicize all of those things. Keeping in mind, there can't be any discussion. Just if you're asking for information, you make the request, you get the answer, but no back and forth, no discussion. All of the discussion, the back and forth has to take place in the meeting. So we have to be thoughtful, we have to be careful about that. The last thing we want are a lot of different misfires, people asking questions, side conversations with the applicant going on outside of the public realm. So that's not going to happen.
So
Would you be interested in doing that?
So what would be the medium that I would use to broadcast it out once I get an answer?
When you get an answer, you share it with the other board members.
Just the board member?
Yeah, it's just,
Yeah,
and then we publicize it to the public at the next study session or whatever it is.
Okay.
And this
Okay.
has to do with the meeting itself or to the site visit?
This is with respect to any questions that the board member has requesting additional information.
Oh.
So I want, you know, can you, whatever, I don't know what the question would be, but if you have a question of the applicant, that would be fine, but we need to do it so that we make a public record of it, there's no discussion, and then you forward it. So having said that, to the applicant, is that sound like,
That's a great plan, and we also keep track, put everything on Roundtree.
Right.
It's public and everybody can see.
Yeah.
good, good. And I suppose for that matter, I'm just thinking off the top of my head, but, Madam Clerk, you may have some thoughts on this. If we, as we, have that kind of exchange where a question has been made, for information has been provided, we could post it on the website. Could we have a separate, tab for the Verizon application and information that's being generated? We'd have the application, we'd have any email.
Did you miss us?
We did. Come on, join in.
Yeah, I set up a page that, link it, the whole page,
That'd be perfect.
be all the Verizon stuff.
Perfect. So Dick, when you get, if you, not just you, but if anybody sends a request to the applicant, to the board members, it all goes through Dick. Dick will send it, you get a response. When you get the response, then send both the request and the response to April, and she'll post it on the public website so everybody will know. And then we'll also share it at the public meeting, so that even those who haven't been paying attention to the website would have access to the information too. Okay, cool. All right, are you okay doing that?
Yeah, I'm just, if I find some discrepancies in this report, can I ask for that before the public meetings, or to have that clarified? Or should I wait on the situation?
Yeah, I'm not sure. In discrepancies, it sounds more like you're gonna be, having a dialogue back and forth about stuff. I think it'd be better if you have a discrete, request for information. Could you provide this, or could you provide that? If you're looking for clarifications, if you're looking for, further explanations, obviously keep track of those, but that's for the public. That's for the study session and then the public hearing.
Yeah,
Okay,
so,
because there are too many nuances there.
Yeah,
You know,
right, yeah.
back and forth discussion, that's gotta be a public event, whether it's a study session or the public hearing, that's the time to do that. That's my preference.
well, there's one specific thing that I've mentioned every meeting about this, and that is there a way to get a typical foundation specification?
I think we have, and it's in the zoning drawings, we do zoning drawings, then we do construction drawings.
Yeah.
The zoning drawings do have a certain amount of information in them. Have you seen the zoning drawings yet? They're attached
Yeah,
to the,
if we look at Z6.
yeah, if that
Details
is,
8 and 9, so that it'll be determined when the construction crew comes out and examines the site.
yeah, the issue is that, look, if we end up at a different site, we don't want to spend the money to geotech, doing all of that kind of stuff.
Right.
So if we get towards this being, these are whatever is the site,
Yeah,
then we start ramping that up.
but what I'm interested in is having a typical one that,
Mhm.
because,
Did you find that in the zoning drawings?
no,
Okay.
yeah, and so I was thinking if we could look at, examine that ahead of time, then when they present, what is the specifics, we have a reference to kind of guide us as to what we're looking for. Or what,
Yeah, I certainly can send you, one that we've done for other 130-foot manifolds.
yeah, that would be fine, yeah, particularly on the ledge situation.
And again, anything we supply to the town, we'll do in writing. And typically we have it follow the exhibit letters we've got so far, so we have a very clear record.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right,
Thank you.
Dick, you probably have Dick's email from
We'll get this.
email threads that we have, so you all can keep track of that.
Email there.
But thank you for those questions, Dick, because that's a great example. The discussion that you and Mr. Bergdorf just had will be informative to the larger group once we convene the larger group.
Yeah.
So better that we not do it piecemeal, better that we do it when we've got the mass, the critical mass of folks who are interested in the issue. Okay. All right, well, thank you. It looks like we've got a proposed schedule. I would entertain a motion to adopt the schedule that we just described, subject to confirmations from the applicant. and any changes in schedule for the town hall that might come up. Do we have a
I
motion?
make that motion, John, that we're adopting a schedule of July 28th, August 19th, and September 9th.
Yes,
Subject to Bob getting back to us.
confirmation, yeah. Is there a second?
Second?
Susan, good job. All in favor? Yes. All right, the first one is always the hardest.
This one.
Pardon me? Oh,
Looks, we're good.
Demi, you were,
No.
okay. All right, have you been sworn?
No.
Oh,
I'll second it.
Oh,
okay,
Okay, then.
all right. Well, that was close.
That's okay.
Thank you, Demi.
Thank you. One guy, do you have projection? We have projection, probably I can check with.
Yeah, we do. We absolutely do.
Yeah, thank you.
Safe travels. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yep, take care. All right, I guess while he's walking out, is there anything else on the horizon that, the board wanted to raise?
No, I'm just trying to move through the agenda. That's all.
Okay,
I have a statement. Sorry,
who is this?
Becky.
Becky.
Hi, Becky.
Hi, Becky, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Go
I
ahead.
just wanted to thank you. I appreciate the request for a typical foundation example, but I would respectfully ask that any typical foundation detail be clearly labeled as non-site specific and only preliminary. And for this particular site, that the board should eventually request and require a site-specific information before approval, including the geotechnical review, the ledge conditions, foundation design assumptions, whether blasting, drilling, or rock hammering may be needed, and how nearby wells and groundwater will be protected. And a generic example is helpful for education, but I respectfully ask that the board not consider this to be a complete application.
Okay, you're gonna have an opportunity to say all that again at the first study session that we have scheduled for July 28th, but in anticipation of that, if I would ask if you don't mind, if you could write down what you just said and send it to me or to Dick. I'll make sure Dick gets it because he's going to send that to the applicant. But one of the things we're going to do when we're talking about this on July 28th is inviting the public to raise any items or information that they think would make the application more complete. So you're right on, you're hitting the nail on the head, and we'll look forward to hearing more about that on July 28th.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, anything else on the Verizon application? Close that. Okay, Miss Moon. Yeah.
I have a question. If the applicant how would they proceed with the process of looking at a different location, and how would it affect the application? Would they have to submit a whole new application, or would it be an amendment to their original application?
No, the application is site specific. So if for some reason they decide to look at another site, they would be making a whole new application.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. All right, okay, let's go on. Invitation to KELP to provide information regarding all applications of pesticides on the island, scheduled for applications over the next 3 months, week notice of applications. So following up on our town meeting, I sent an email to the executive director of KELP.
Do you want us to come back?
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, please come back. Welcome back.
You guys go.
All right, thank you. Yeah, so I sent an email to the executive director, saying, let's build on what we've started. Would love to get together with them the next month or two, sometime during the summer. Thinking a couple times to begin talking about the issues and beginning to organize how we move forward. And I also said it would be great if we could get some more information about all the applications of pesticides on the island, what their schedule would be for the next couple months, and if there was a way that we could give notice to the residents anytime they do make applications, so folks are just more aware. I received an email back a couple weeks later saying, thank you for the email. It would be great to continue talking, but they're not available until maybe September, October. But they will be meeting with the Conservation Commission and talking about ways to generate education through the Conservation Commission. So I responded to that email saying, that sounds great. Sorry, we can't meet in the next couple of months, but I'd still like to get information about what pesticides you're applying, schedule is in the next couple of months, and if we could make arrangements for notice. And I haven't received a response to that. So I contacted the Board of Pesticides Control. They're the board that licenses applicators and regulates applicators. They have a wonderful website for folks who are interested. And on their website are provisions that have been adopted by the Board of Pesticides Control for notification of applications. And in a nutshell, it basically says that if members of the public would like to get more information about when applications are made, what is being applied, and get notice of when applications are actually made, they can do that. And the licensed applicator has an obligation to respond in a substantive way to those requests. So I haven't been very successful on my own. I wanted to share with the board my effort to get more information and to begin a conversation with Kelp. I shared with you the response. So I share with you all. Don't need to do anything with it right now, but we might want to consider at some point formal motion to request as a board that Kelp provide the information, and then of course we can share it with the public. Any thoughts, comments, questions?
I agree with, thank you for following up after the meeting, and that I was initially supportive with Susan's ordinance when she first came to us, and supportive at the meeting as well. And one of the things I brought up is if the pesticide or the herbicide was applied, how would a bypasser or someone enjoying the trails know? Having young kids and them getting into things, how would we know? And I asked if it was indicated anyway, and it's not. So if it was perhaps marked, flagged, and then noticed to the public, it would be in the interest of the public safety and health of Westport Island to at least let people know where this is being sprayed. So I'm very on board with that, and it's within our right too. So I second.
Do you know if it's just like private individuals, or could the town itself or the planning board register? That would facilitate getting the information out.
I had a conversation with Mr. Peacock, I think is his name, today, from the board. He is available, by the way, to come talk to the town about all of this, and I told him that that sounded really good, and we probably take him up on that. But he said, yeah, the bottom line is it's all of the above, private individuals, anybody.
Yeah.
You know, the point,
We could save people money if the town could do it. We pay the $20 fee. And then, I don't know if we have the money, but then we could push it out through the website so that individual homeowners don't have to do it. Sorry. The mayor wants to talk.
The mayor was, the
Oh.
mayor has another hand up there.
I do
Yes,
want
ma'am.
to say two things. One, the Conservation Commission is attacking this issue, especially from an education standpoint. We've already talked about that. We do have some Kelp people that are on the Conservation Board. And so, as Kelp said, we are working together. So I'd like to at least, have you all be aware that we are looking at educating the public before we, say that anybody needs to do anything. The second thing, I just want to talk to Demi. I asked that same question about, how is it notified? And I was told that they did notify that it is marked when they spray. And if you're hearing a different story, then we definitely, I'll find out more about that tomorrow. But my understanding is that when they spray, the few times, I think they've only done it twice in a couple of years. But the couple times that they did spray, that they do mark it, just like you've seen outside, in people's yards and that kind of thing. What I asked is that possibly they let the town know and we can post it on our website or whatever, just as another way to show people how to get there. Oh, by the way, here's a little tag to show. So I did ask about that immediately and was told by the director that it is posted. It has to be posted whenever they spray. So, but I think it would make more sense to post it on our website or on the unofficial website and the official website to say that, someplace was sprayed. So if you're planning to go on a picnic, don't go here today.
yeah,
Unofficial Facebook. We don't have an unofficial website.
Yeah.
and given the current interest in it, I for one, and I think others too, would like to go out and see what they do, right? Because, a lot of it, a lot of this is going to be new to folks, and it'd be helpful to actually go out and, show and tell. So what's going on here? We've heard the science, quite a bit of the science, but we haven't really gotten a good picture of what's going on. So I'm hopeful that Kelp will be amenable to sharing with us their plans for applications in the next couple months. Will give us notice and tell us what they're doing. I mean, as far as I can tell, they're obligated to do it under the Board of Pest Control regulations, and the board might want to entertain a formal request to Kelp and copy the board with that request, so it's all open and everybody knows what's going on and everybody knows we're interested. Susan, this is something that you might have an interest in, so.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Do you have any thoughts?
Just had a question about, so is it going to be the next conservation commission meeting that Kelp will come and talk about?
No. We already have Kelp on the committee. We have a couple of people on Kelp. But we are gonna have a subcommittee and we will have open meetings where we will talk about, how we can do things, just like you had proposed before. How can we do things differently than using chemicals? Forget Kelp. To me, it's not about Kelp. To me, it's about what we do ourselves and what are some ways that we can be more sensitive, because I don't have an issue with Kelp. Kelp knows what they're doing. I don't know what I'm doing. And if I go out and get chemicals, or my neighbor goes out and get chemicals, I can do whatever I darn well want to, because nobody's gonna stop me. And we need to educate people so we don't do things like me.
So it wouldn't necessarily be Kelp's
giving the education. Right, it would depend. I see lots of, conversations about it. I see write-ups about it, just like we're doing right now with the water study.
Yeah.
Our goal was to create public awareness, and that's what we plan to do with this as well. So we'll have public articles, that we'll put in the WCA newsletter if they let us. They're always looking for letters, and, we'll start that as soon as possible.
And I mean, I don't see anything inconsistent with, what the Conservation Commission is doing or proposing to do with asking for more information about what Kelt's doing on the island. So, I think they're all part of the same package, and I hope that, Kelt will, get together with us, and we'll look forward to talking to them maybe in September when they have more time. All right.
I second again to ask formally as a board about the future applications for this year.
Okay.
Speak for the,
Maybe that was the motion. Do we have a second?
what applications are you referring to?
So John was saying, do you guys support me as a board writing to Kelt and asking for, right? Attaching this document, I assume, that is our right to know as community members, and formally asking as a board about future applications, and hope to educate ourselves as a board as, and then I'll rip on myself as part of the town meeting. As I got it, is that we were going to revisit this. So this is something that we're actively gonna be working on as a planning board. And education is one thing, for the community in the broader spec. But then also for us to know who's actively spraying pesticides, and in the point that was brought up to us by this resident. And to further investigate that, how it's done, and how we might want to revisit the ordinance that was denied at the town meeting.
Yeah, yeah. All right,
So I'll second that motion.
all right, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, unanimous, thank you. Okay, I'll do that. Next item, Williams application. Ted, give us a quick rundown on this. I'm not sure why the planning board needs to do something, but I think you're gonna tell me in a minute.
Are you asking Ted or you're asking?
I'm sorry. Ted, you're the new resident expert, so I'm sorry, Gary, I apologize.
So the whole reason that it ended up before the planning board is because of the retaining wall, the erosion control wall within the resource. Because my authority starts at the high tide line.
Okay,
So now that excavation has taken place and there was a key, what they call a keyway dug into the beach. And a whole lot more rock than were there before. It has to be reviewed, both by you as a board and by the DEP.
wow. What's the status of the DEP reviewed, if you know?
I have not.
Okay.
gotten that yet, but that we got.
Typically, we wait until they do their thing before we do something, or,
It's not required to do. I mean, you can do a review and approval, contingent upon any other.
okay,
Necessary approval.
gotcha,
And I
okay,
think, at this stage in the game, it was probably be a good decision to move it forward quickly and very quickly.
Yeah.
Just to make something.
yeah, it's been long in the tooth, and we're really grateful that everybody's come together to solve it. Okay, we have received the application as of when, Madam Clerk?
Today, I
Oh,
believe,
okay,
right?
so we have 30 days to decide whether it's complete or not.
Yeah.
As I think everybody's receiving it for the first time tonight.
Yep.
So take a look at it. We will meet again on,
Pretty soon, pretty soon.
Oh my God,
yeah, we're meeting for Ted,
the 29th.
for the Ted's application on the 29th. Why don't we add that to the agenda? And at least for our discussion, we don't need to make a final decision. But we could have a discussion about it. And obviously we'll make sure the applicant, is the applicant represented by a engineer firm now?
Not at this present time, they had the contractor did the work, sort of walk the things and.
Right, right.
Have another contractor, that's, came down and spoke to me about what was going on, and he's worked for this family for years. He told me that, you know, Debbie is just, you know, just pretty going on.
Yeah.
He feels like he's had an obligation to step in and help, so they do have some professional assistance, but it's mostly the two children, Debbie's two children.
All right, what, all right, Madam Clerk, obviously, you're in charge of that part of it, but I think it would be great if we gave notice not only to Debbie, but her family members and the professional person that's working on this, because they've done a great job just flipping through it quickly. They've done a nice job, so I think it'd be helpful to talk to them about any completion issues.
Is the name on the application for the contractor DNS excavation? Is that the old guy?
That's the contractor that did the.
Kind of messed up.
I'm looking.
The new contractor that's off on his self has got funds.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm looking for his information.
I'm sorry, my hearing is going on.
Okay, thank you. So,
Do we have his contact information?
I can get it to.
Okay.
Or is he just a representative?
No, he's just helping them with the.
Gotcha.
So Gary, on the back here where you referred it to the planning board, would John, I guess what I'm, we're working out the kinks on our new form here. John would go filling this out, at least the permitting part, and then when we get to the end here, you would sign it and assign the permit number. But John should do the sections where we're kind of figuring it out as a board. Since you've referred it to the board.
Yeah.
Okay.
The permitting section where.
Right.
Site visit.
And we'll stop at permit number. And then we'll sign once we vote, whenever we vote. Okay. And then you put date received 6/25/26, which is correct. That's when you received it. However, I think you.
Referred.
Right. And so I'm wondering, I probably need to add yet another line about the date it's like
Filed and received by.
filed by the board. Oh my God. Okay, this form is
It's,
Oh, no,
It's evolving.
I don't know how you think about it.
filed with planning board. Well, it's an important date to have on there.
That's
Yeah.
right.
It's on the record now in the meeting, but
Yeah.
it should be on the form. I will.
yes, yes, it should. This form is going to get an award on this form.
Oh, this is not the form anymore. It's already changed several times.
All right, I think we got a plan. So we'll add this to the agenda for the 29th. With respect to completeness, and then we'll move as quickly as we can to a final decision. We'll need a public hearing, and
Well, it's just a permit though, just like a peer permit, right? Just a permit.
Not a peer.
I mean,
It's not a site.
not a site plan.
we don't
Okay,
have to vote on completeness. We just have to,
Think your notice.
be fine. Okay, cool.
yeah, so luckily we don't have to worry about all that.
Are
And I
there,
think we could vote on whether or not to permit it on the 29th. We wouldn't have to bump it another
if we're ready,
meeting
we're
if
ready.
we're ready.
Yeah, we're ready. So let's in the notice, say, decision on completion and possible action on the final plan. If it's,
Well, it's not, it's just a permit.
or, I'm sorry, permit. Sorry,
It's all right.
I got site plan on the brain.
But I'll let Deb know.
Here, permit, this is for the construction of a retaining wall.
Yeah, I'm saying it's,
The land use permit.
I shouldn't have used those words, but basically, it's just like when we permit piers. It's just
Okay,
a
got it.
permit. That's what I meant.
Yeah.
Good. Okay, it's our first one.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, good. Gary, I can't thank you enough for all the time you put in and all the work you've done with Rose. This is huge. It was a significant event, and we're all sorry that the first engineer didn't see it through, but we take care of our own, right?
Sure.
Okay, all right. Anything else on the Williams application? Hearing none. We've already elected our officers. Any new business?
Where?
You want to do that?
Yes.
For the next meeting.
Yeah. Yes, hold on. I did print it. I printed it. I did print it.
I don't think we need to hold everybody up for that. Do I hear a motion to adjourn? All right, wait, hold.
Trying to be brief. What's the public noticing for our next meeting? Purpose of that,
It's just in the ordinance.
which is final site plan review,
Yeah.
wasn't that satisfied in the original notice? The original notice says final site plan application,
We just need
for
a new,
non-residential use of the property, it's the same thing.
yeah,
Those are, they're reading it,
It's a new one,
what's new?
new date.
new, project. So your original site plan review in December, is that what you mean?
No, this one here.
Yeah.
What you previously noticed,
Yeah.
is non-residential use of, non-residential,
The one that ran like in.
correct, it just says non-residential development properties, so it's talking the same thing.
Yeah,
Would they satisfy that requirement for the posting versus posting it twice again? It doesn't say here, it doesn't say road, it just says non-residential development property,
okay.
we're still talking that same thing. I think you're probably satisfied with the posting.
yeah,
You
you might
just
be
said-
right. You might be right. Okay. So. Some stuff happened between the meeting where we talked about this just being a peer permit. And then we started treating it like site plan review. We were kind of confused at the meeting what to do. So after the meeting, John clarified with me, no, we need to treat this like site plan review. And I said, oh crap, I better get the notice in. So that's kind of an error because I skipped a step. We were supposed to vote on the completeness before we do the hearing. So I think you're holding the ad. I noticed the hearing for today. But we can't do it today because we didn't vote on the completeness.
So we
However,
got a new hearing.
we have a new hearing.
The public's entitled to
Right.
have notice of the hearing, so my preference would be to publish a new
Notice.
notice.
Because isn't that notice, Dave?
Site plan.
There's a hearing today and the notice should be that there's a hearing on July 29th.
Right.
Because it's a new hearing. So,
A continuation of the site plan review application, if you vote it complete.
It could,
And
let me,
the next regular meeting, you typically,
yeah, I mean, we could say we're continuing what we started today to the 29th. We could say that. I just have a personal preference in giving as much notice to the public as possible. Let me ask the question. Are we talking, is it the expense? Because it's the town's
it
expense.
just seems redundant.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
Notice, it clearly says non-residential on that property. and
all right,
Then
then,
they pier, didn't say road construction, didn't say
right,
pier permit first or site review.
the only
I-
problem is,
It's all,
I,
because everything
right,
you do with the property is non-residential commercial use.
we are not going to be able to remedy all of the things that have happened in the last year. My preference would be to keep it as clean as possible and give the public notice, much notice. And if it's just a matter of redundancy, I'm all about redundancy when it comes to giving the public notice.
So the 29th, so, okay, you're gonna post notice, 29th is the meeting.
Mhm.
Is this meeting to vote to deny or approve?
Yep.
Okay, for both
Everything,
the road and the pier,
everything.
okay.
You're gonna be done one way or the other.
Well, it was like not hard.
I'm optimistic, but you know.
That NASCAR version that happened earlier.
Under SRMS LLC and not Chen and Deb personally?
yeah. Does it say 10 Deb personally?
Yes,
Okay, yeah,
Okay.
no, it'll be SRMS.
that'd be great.
And wouldn't they still have to do permit?
That'd be great.
Well, yes, but the paperwork that they've already submitted fulfills the peer permit application, so I think what we're gonna do is do the site plan review, and then we'll be able to rule on the permits too.
Does the select board have to, they
Yep,
have to approve it too, don't
they
they?
do, they have to approve the pier one.
Yep.
So.
So how would we?
We're done here. It's up to you guys.
Yeah, but I agree, the process is a bear, and we will try to simplify it, but this is the ordinance that we inherited. This was put in place years ago.
Yeah, I know, it's just that last year, when we started this and we bailed in May, I said, no, we're just gonna, just wait for the pier permit, that way we can do the pier permit, the road, we got the gravel pad, I mean, we haven't had it done yet, but approved. And we said, we'll just wait for the pier permit. So, because I don't wanna get it approved and then it expires and I don't have my pier permit and go through all this all over again. So, long story short, it's just, last year it was, yeah, we're gonna try to get this shortened up. So by the time you come back this year, you'll have it. And we're still going through the same, I'm
We're-
sorry, convoluted process. I told Ken, I can't keep it straight.
Yeah.
I have no idea what's going on.
But you guys are the experts now. I mean, if anybody has any questions, they're gonna come to you.
Nothing against you guys, I just rather not.
Listen, we're with you. I mean, we're all in this together, right? We have whatever, 50, 60 pages here to try to apply. Nobody took a test when they took this job, right? So we're all
Job, and
working
I
together.
commend you all for doing it.
Yeah, we're all working together and we just, it would be so much more fun to just sit here and say, hey, we'll kind of work this out and let's just get it done. But the problem is when you start doing that, there aren't any rules and it's just kind of who knows who and who likes who and all that sort of stuff. So we have to follow rules. That's a good thing.
Okay.
And appreciate your patience. Like you do, and you guys have done a super job. What you did tonight was super. We really appreciate that. And all I can say is whenever this comes up again, 10 years from now, we will all be talking about this.
Yeah.
All right, motion to adjourn. All in favor? Okay, thank you, guys. Susan gets sworn.
Yeah,
Make it official.
We're gonna need, yeah. I'm gonna say, there's a company there.
Yes, ma'am.